Hey guys, my name is Sydney and I am trying out a totally new type of video today. I am a hula hoop performer. If you know me from my other hoop tutorial videos or from my Instagram at Worrom_. I am super excited to talk about it today, and this is bullet journaling. A beginner guide and a little insight to get started and the journey that I've taken throughout my books to try to give you some comfort in that we all start somewhere. So what is bullet journaling? Bullet journaling is pretty much your journal. You can use it for absolutely anything in the world that you can imagine. It just gives you so much freedom. You choose everything about the pages that you're creating. You choose how big you want the header. You choose the colors of the page. You choose the layout. You choose what you even want it to be. You can have the page be a journal entry, and then the next page could be your bill tracker. The page after that could be a list of books that you want to read. And after that, it could be a grocery list, or that week coming up, the dinners that you want to cook for dinner. I started to use it as tracking my electric bills, make sure they were paid. I also used it to keep track of what tutorials people wanted me to make. But the biggest thing that I've used it for is my school planner. So I am nearing the end of college. I start my last semester of nursing school this week. Yeah, this week. So therefore, the templates that I will show you in this video are the ones that I've used for college, and kind of how to keep track of assignments and clinical schedule and everything like that. And I'm also going to show you the evolution of my bullet journaling, because it's really funny to see my progression. Because when I first started bullet journaling, right off the bat I was like, there's no way that I would be able to do even half of that. And I looked it up on Google and Pinterest, and even more so, I was so intimidated. I was like, there's no way that I could make it that pretty, blah blah blah. And let me tell you, that is okay that if you feel that way, because I still feel that way. I mean, it's kind of a journey. I mean, it's just like anything else. You have to practice at it in order to get better. I have always been the type of person that really loves art and really loves doing art, but has never been very good at art. So I'm here to tell you, if you Google bullet journaling, or you get through this video and you still feel super overwhelmed and unsure if it's even something you want to do, that's okay, because I felt that way, and here I am a year and a half later, like, talking to you guys about it, because it is fantastic. So let's talk about what you would need to start a bullet journal. So you need a notebook, and it can be a composition book, it could be a spiral bound notebook, it could be absolutely anything that you have laying around or you find anywhere. I'm gonna have a link below of all of the things, specific items that I talk about and that I use. Definitely had to look up how to pronounce that, by the way. Worrom 1917. But yeah, so you can use, like I said, like a spiral bound notebook with lines. I really liked having the dots. So this, I don't know if you can see it, but these are just pages with the dots throughout it. I also like Moleskine. It's just like another notebook brand. Does the same thing. I like the hardcover. So yeah, I mean, I started with the smaller Worrom book, which I would definitely recommend starting with a smaller notebook. And I only say that because when I kind of advanced, for lack of a better word, to a bigger book, I found that it was much harder to fill out the page. I thought that it was a lot harder to scale what I wanted from the smaller notebook into the bigger notebook, and just like figuring out enough things to put on the page to fill it out so there wasn't any empty space. What I did when I was first starting out was I got a extra little soft cover one, just so that I could practice my like calligraphy and lettering. So like I have a bunch of pages of just like practicing banners and decorative borders. I really like this kind of expandable see-through ruler. Being able to see through the ruler kind of helps me draw the straighter lines. But I also It's in another room, but I just have a normal like wooden ruler that I use as well. So for pens, literally use anything. Use your favorite pen, use pencils. A lot of times when I'm doing new layouts, I will trace it in pencil before I actually do it in pen, just to make sure I have like my spacing right. So it's kind of doing it twice, which is a little extra, but I do it anyways. So the pens that I like to use are, I have these like calligraphy type pens, which is Tombow. I also have a huge bag of calligraphy like markers. They're the Tombow and a couple other ones that I found at like Michael's or Hobby Lobby. So these are the Tombow ones. The highlighters I use are Midliner. I will link everything below so that you can just check it out. Don't feel like you have to buy it, but I'm just gonna link it so that you can look at it, see if it's something that you want to do. I mostly use these Micron ones. I don't know if this makeup, I don't know, I see people doing this on YouTube for makeup and stuff. I don't know if that's helping, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So I use the Micron. There's different thicknesses. There's like 0.005 all the way up to 5. And then also the micro line. There's different colored pens in these brands. I just like, they're kind of like felt tip in a way, and it just looks very clean as opposed to a gel pen in my opinion. But again, use what you're comfortable with. I also have this cute little roll up of markers. It's just really aesthetically pleasing and I really like it. I'll put the brand of these pens and the case in the description below. You can also get some of these, what are they called? Stencils. You can get these stencils from mostly like any store. Another thing that a lot of people use for bullet journaling is something called washi tape. So it's really just like different kinds of decorative tape that people use like for borders or to split up things on a page. Just gives it a little bit more pizzazz and dimension to the page. There's a ton. I really like to look on Etsy for washi tape. It's spelled W-A-S-H-I. They have pretty much any pattern or color that you're looking for. So I'm gonna share my kind of evolution of my bullet journal so that you can see that we all start somewhere. And then at the end, I'll do a little time-lapse video of me getting my planner ready for this coming semester starting this week. So I'm gonna start by showing you my first ever bullet journal. It is this hardcover Leuchtturm 1917, the smaller version of it. The first thing that a lot of people do with bullet journals is create an index. You can just put what page numbers you have for what topic. So page 4, I have the month of May calendar. Page 5 is notes for the month of May. You don't have to do a index, but some people like it. The other thing that people do is a legend. Bullet journaling comes with a bunch of little icons that you can make. So a blank box is a task that you want to complete. When you complete it, you make an X. Or if you don't complete the task and you want to move it to the next day or the next month, then you would add a little arrow to it saying that you moved it to the next time that you want to do it. It kind of just comes with your style of what you want to do for bullet journaling. I can make a separate video talking about the different pages and setting up your first bullet journal, but this video is really just an overview of what it is and how to kind of get started. I started doing just a month of May and then notes for the month of May, and so on and so forth. Now this is why I love bullet journaling, because normally the next page would be the next month, which is July. And what if you're still in June and you want to make a journal entry for one of the days that you're currently in? Well, you can make the next day something that you want it to be. So the next page that I created was writing prompts. So I like writing and I wanted to get kind of a little topic bank of things that I could just randomly pick and say, write about this, to kind of enhance my writing skills. The hoop tutorials that I was going to make and upload to YouTube. Then it gets into my bills, keeping track of bills, and then I did my class schedule. I did a color key and I did my class schedule, what it was gonna look like. And then this is, I never did this page again because it was super extra and it was not needed, but I was just very excited about beginning a bullet journal, so I wanted to write everything. In my further semesters, I just made a very condensed version. And then I did semester at a glance. In a bullet journal that wouldn't be for school, you would just do like year at a glance, or you can do 3 months at a glance, or something like that. Draw the little calendars and highlight with a dot or something what day you have something to do, and then you can write about it in this open space of what that is that you have to do. And then I go into assignment tracker. So I wrote down every day and what was due for that specific day. And it went to the end, the last day of final exams, and then my assignment tracker was done. So then I turned the page and I created a weekly spread. Every week I can write down what I had to do for the week, what was due, and when I wanted to do what type of homework. As you can see, I did some washi tape on the edges and I just folded it over so that my assignment tracker was separated from the rest of my journal. So then I kept going, and this is kind of where it gets funny. This is what I mean when I say that it will not be perfect. So I was doing weekly spreads and I did them all in advance so that I wouldn't have to worry about it during the semester. But then little did I know, I skipped a day and I had to fix it with note cards. So I went from 9, 10 to 12. And so it was far too late to fix it. And I really didn't want to buy a whole new notebook. It was not worth it. So I just rolled with the punches and redid the numbering with note cards. As the semester was over, I started using these pages for practicing different words in cursive, because I really hadn't done cursive since I was in like 3rd grade. During my break from my fall semester to my spring semester, just had some time. These are trackers. So up here, I was tracking mood in purple, sleep in blue, orange is exercise. Obviously, I didn't exercise a whole lot, but I was tracking my mood, my sleep, and I'll probably do a whole nother video on trackers, but this was just a quick idea of what you can do. And then it goes into the weekly daily. So this spread is gonna be a little different than the previous spread. I became a little more comfortable and decided to make little boxes for myself and add a weekly tracker. Once that semester was over and final exams were done, I went into summer mode. So this is the bigger book that I was talking about, and remember I said that I recommended starting with a smaller book just because I feel like it's a little easier to fill out the pages in its entirety, but also do what you're comfortable with. I'm gonna talk about this bigger book. This is this past school year, so fall of 2018, my senior year. Started with a little accent page with the colored pencils, and I started with my class schedule, still did the color key, still did the clinical information, I still did the semester at a glance, assignment tracker, and it looks a little less hectic because there's more page space. And then I got into my weekly. So I did the month up here and highlighted the week that I was in for these 2 pages. I did weekly goals of what I wanted to get done that week. Tracked my sleep, how many hours I got. And I had a brain dump section, meaning like any sort of notes or something that I wanted to remember for that week, I would just put in that box. I did weekly trackers of different things that I wanted to see how I was doing on accomplishing my goals. My work schedule, next week, what I had to do next week, if I had an exam or something important due. I did an open space here, as well as a little journal section for each day. And I wrote in cursive on the side, I wrote mantra. So I wanted to think about like what my mantra was for that day. And if I didn't feel like talking about anything, I would just draw something, do a little zen doodle. I used washi tape in the middle of each page just to make it a little prettier. I did a little like ombre rainbow type thing. So I did that all the way up to final exams, and then my semester was over. And now I've had a couple weeks to start to get my planner ready for this final semester of nursing school. So I did an accent page here, which was spring semester in the flowers, 5 months till RN, because that's when I take my boards in 5 months. And once I have my schedule, I'm gonna fill it out here. Instead of doing semester at a glance, I chose to do each month have its own page, just because this last semester for me personally is going to be a lot of planning in advance, since my capstone is kind of spread out and I need to look at everything overall each month. And I have a little note section down at the bottom each time. And I'm not done with these pages, I just wanted to show you guys where I was at currently. And then this is getting into my weekly. So I changed it from this type of layout to a horizontal. Goals up here. I'm going to have my daily, what I need to do, what is due for school. In these, this will be my tracker, my mood tracker, my sleep tracker, and then I will have a work and next week box. This open space down here I'm going to use for journaling, brain dump, just anything that I feel like writing. And then I will show you what it looks like when it's all done. So here is a rough outline of what a completed week for this upcoming semester would look like for me. I have the week highlighted every day on the left-hand side, and underneath the day I'm going to put what YouTube or Instagram thing I want to do that day, and over here is going to be what I want to get done that day regarding school or life. I have goals up here for the week, trackers, which I'm tracking yoga, hula hoop, my fans, working out, no money spent, cooking dinner, and mindfulness exercises. I'm going to track my mood. I'm going to track how many hours I get to sleep, since my capstone will be quite crazy this semester, when I work, and what's going on next week, what I need to pay attention to. So thanks for watching. I had a lot of fun making this video. I hope that you liked it. I hope that it was a little bit informative, if anything. If you have any questions with bullet journaling or hula hooping, message me, comment, like the video, subscribe, anything I'm grateful for. I want to connect with more of you guys, so comment, message me, let me know what you want to see on my channel. So yeah, happy journaling!